Hey guys, Grivo Tools. This is, I'm going to start a new kind of segment, cool tool gadget reviews. Kind of some interesting, unique tools that I've got floating around the shop. A lot of these I bought for specific projects for my business, and they've probably already served their purpose, but I already know that I made my money off of them. This is a perfect example. Had 50 cars with these specific consoles that were in them that had these pain in the butt little screws to get out. They were long threaded, and I was 50 cars in 2 weeks doing the same thing over and over again. So that's why I picked this up, was to run those screws out and back in, and it served its purpose. And now on to just enjoying it as a tool. So this is the Wiha SpeedE electric assist screwdriver. So the cool thing about this screwdriver is it's not that much different. It feels fine. I've got fairly large hands, but it feels fine in your hand, but it is powered. So you can, if I can get a bit in here, just by turning this, what do you want to call it? Yeah, by turning that, you can make it spin forward, reverse, whatever you want to do. Not a cheap little guy. I've actually bought it off Amazon. I don't see it on there anymore, but from looking at some of the other places online, you're looking $190 to $250 for the set. It does come in this nice little box, the mini L box, I think, T box, something like that. So it comes with a few different bits. You have a Phillips number 1. That would be a square number 1. Robertson for the Canadian folks. That would be the Robertson number 2. Phillips number 2. Couple different size flat tips. And, oh, it looks like, oh no, never mind. Don't get myself confused. So then they also come with these cool, they call them Zeno Bits. So they're the combination of Phillips and flat tip. Haven't used those a whole lot, but the main draw for this is going to be in the electrical industry, and so that's what these are designed for. How you can see it fits the Phillips and the flat at the same time, and it is pretty snug. So you've got charger, and that's just a USB, so you could plug it into other things. 2 batteries, so the battery's just in the end cap, pops out. I'm going to swap it for a new battery because we're going to do a little testing here. This one is fully charged. I just pulled it off the charger. So that goes in nice and quick and easy. You can charge both at the same time, which is kind of handy. I like this case and the charger. That's actually pretty slick for something this small. Here's what I don't like about it. These bits are actually six millimeters. They are not a standard 1/4-inch drive bit. So 6.3 millimeters about, change that over. There's your 1/4-inch drive. So 1/4-inch drive bits do not fit into these. You have to use their proprietary bits. And in your handy dandy thing, there's all the ones that they make for it. These guys up here are torque control adapters, so you can limit the torque. My experience with this tool, it's not torquey enough to anything that I could really see needing to limit that torque. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt to have to go out and buy their special bits. Now, if you look, one nice thing, these are insulated bits up to 1,000 volts. So this is actually a plastic on here. And instead of being the big bulky insulation that comes off the outside, they kind of show you a picture right in here. It's a slim insulation, so it does fit down into recesses and stuff, which is really nice. But for why I bought it, I never knew that it had these 6 millimeter bits. I needed a 1/4-inch drive, 1/8 ball hex bit on the end of it. So I took a bit adapter and a little bit of grinding, and then polish it up a little bit. And now I can put standard 1/4" bits into here. You just have to take just the tiniest little bit off of each side, but you have to try and keep it somewhat centered. Otherwise, it's not going to work well. It's going to give you kind of a speed wobble, not that it spins super fast. So there is a little LED on the front, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's actually pretty nice for the purpose I was using it for. Another thing I don't like is, see if you can see down in there. Down inside, the retention for the bits is actually just looks like a rubber O-ring. So there's no positive, you know, ball detent or anything like that. It's just a friction with that rubber O-ring, and I'm sure that that's going to wear out fairly soon, not included in the kit. I haven't pulled it out to see how bad it is replacing it, or if it's just kind of a standard O-ring I could grab somewhere, or that I already have in my collection. But yeah, it's kind of a handy tool if you have the needs for it. Just at the end, or getting towards the end, I'm gonna do some more testing on this. I haven't decided how I'm gonna edit the video, because I'm gonna compare it against some other ones, like the DeWalt gyroscopic, and then there's another little one over here. I don't know if that's gonna be tagged onto the end, and then you can see each individual video, or I might do all the comparison there. But I thought that I would show you that how well it does at these jobs. So mainly focused at electricians. One thing, so they say, I thought I had it on here. So 3.5 inch-pounds is what it will turn and tighten to. And you can then use it as a manual screwdriver over that, and there is a rating on that, but I can't remember what it is. So we're just gonna run these in. Brand new electrical blocks, no thread or no screws have been in this. But you can see, not very impressive. Now on a metal box, this obviously would work a little bit better. But it's not gonna run those threads in on a brand new plastic box. And so $250, if that's what you're buying it for, I'd maybe take a hard look at something else. Now, on the other hand, if you're the lucky apprentice that gets to put on faceplates all day long, it's gonna do that no problem. And the nice thing is, it's also not gonna over tighten them to where you're gonna crack a faceplate. And then you can come back and have your OCD run wild and make sure your screw is in the right spot by hand. So yeah, it's pretty underpowered. I'm not gonna lie. That's the reason that it worked really well for the job I bought it for, but I have not used it a whole lot since. So let's see if we can. Yeah. And we're just barely getting those screws started in there. So, yeah, it's a cool tool. I think they've got a ways to go. I do like the fact that it still feels like a screwdriver in your hand. Feels fairly well made. Hate the bit size, that 6mm. Why can't everything just be standard stuff? It doesn't have to be standard. I'm okay with a metric system. I just mean like consistent across the board. So, yeah, I'm going to do a RPM test on this, and then run some different sized screws into the wood block back here. Probably want to get all 3 of them out, and maybe just put that in a separate video if you want to go check that out. I'll probably link it on the end page here, but thanks for stopping by and checking it out. And sorry I'm not better at YouTube.